So yet another Winchester knife that I've bought recently. This one is a two-blade jackknife. Of course, you see Winchester there on the blade. It did come with these two scratches on the blade, not a big deal. This one also didn't come with a box, so it is going to be regular carry thing for me, obviously. The bone on this one is cool because it's got some variation in it, which is neat. So I'm happy about that. That was one of the reasons why I wanted this one. I think I paid like $75 for this. Not bad for one of these. He wanted 100. I offered him 75 and he took it. So yeah, blade's like 2.5 inches or something, the main blade, and you got your secondary pen blade here, which is a little bit smaller. But pretty classic little jackknife. Main spear blade, secondary pen blade, pretty good size for carry. Let me compare it to something. Um, hmm. I'll just compare it to the NAF Slander again because I have it sitting here. So it's a little bit smaller than that. Of course, this wouldn't be in your pocket because you have the pocket clip. But this knife is fairly small and compact and everything, so it is nice. It's got your shield here, which should be pinned, like most of these Winchester knives. I assume it is. I didn't look, but yeah, there's a pin there, so it is pinned. You got your Winchester etch on the blade there, Winchester trademark. But yeah, pretty good action and everything. I didn't need to get rid of blade play on this knife. It didn't have any, so I'm excited about that. It's got pretty good action. I did have to sharpen it. When these knives sit, it seems like they do tend to get dull, or they may have just shipped kind of dull. I don't know. I don't know how Queen was making them back in the day, back in '87. I'm not sure what exactly the name of this is. I think I've heard people refer to it as the Torpedo Jack. So that's what I'm going to call it until somebody corrects me. So this is the Winchester Torpedo Jack as far as I'm concerned. It kind of reminds me of like a combination between like Great Eastern Cutlery's like Eureka Jack and their bullet end knife, or the 85, if that makes more sense, because it's kind of got this shape to the frame like the 92 Eureka Jack, but then it's also got this like bullet end on the back of it here, instead of being more rounded like the Eureka Jack is. But it reminds me of a combination of those two things. And like I said, I'm just going to call it the Torpedo Jack until somebody corrects me. Um, but yeah, pretty good put together, like you would expect from these knives. Like I said a couple minutes or a minute ago or so, these were made by Queen back in the day, contracted by Bluegrass Cutlery. I've talked about this a bunch of times, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but they were made in the Queen factory when Bill Howard was still the like master cutler guy, cutler, master of cutlery. I don't know what his name was, what his official title was, but he was designing these knives pretty much. And these are Winchester black box knives. You can tell the black box knives by the shield and by the like dark brown jig bone handles. Um, but yeah, so these were made by Queen. Most of them are made pretty well. The centering's a little off there. I don't care. It's a traditional knife. It doesn't need to be perfect. There is a slight gap once again. Um, don't really care as long as it doesn't affect the use of the knife or add massive blade play, which with this knife it doesn't have any blade play, so we're good. It does have half stops, so that's cool. Action is pretty strong. Walk and talk, as they call it, is good. Um, yeah, pretty nice little knife. I'm excited to have it, and I'm excited to start carrying it. I think somebody else may have carried this for a little while, so I might try to polish up the bolsters and the shield before I start to carry it, but I also might not worry about it. It's not a big deal. Whoever carried it before didn't really use it a whole lot, apart from whatever gave it those two scratches near the tip of the blade, which is unfortunate, but once again, not the end of the world. Because to me, this is a tool and I'm going to use it and cut things, and it's going to have patina on it and everything once I start using it a lot more. So, yeah, Winchester Torpedo Jack, as far as I'm concerned. Um, yeah, neat little knife. Um, these Winchester knives are great. Uh, I talk about that a lot. I'm probably part of the reason why the prices on the Winchester knives aren't going up. Um, but yeah. Meanwhile, I'm watching the Great Eastern Cutlery secondary market go down, which is making me excited. So we'll see what happens there. But these Winchester knives are good, especially if you can get them for under $100, and especially if you can get them unused with a box for under $100. I would definitely suggest it because they're nice to have. And if you're a collector, I feel like you should have some sort of example of this era of cutlery, like the heyday, like the 80s. As far as I'm concerned, that's like the heyday of American cutlery because, brands like Imperial and Charade and stuff were still making knives in the United States. And of course, now Queen's out of business and Case is having issues. And the only like American, oh, and Baron Sons also has issues. And the only like American made cutlery that you can buy without having any thought about the build quality is Great Eastern Cutlery. And we all know how that's going. They're hard to get. Secondary market's crazy, although it is going down a little bit, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. So that's cool and exciting. I hope it continues to go down and I can get some of the knives that were lesser, like sought after for realistic prices again, because that would be cool. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about stuff. This is the video on the Winchester Torpedo Jack, or whatever else it's called. It's the 2857 is the model number. I don't know what that is. Like I said, I think I've seen other people refer to it as the Torpedo Jack. But that's it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.